Hi everyone, it's Nancy, and this is Tea and Treasures, my floss tube for cross stitch. And today is Wednesday, June 17th. So it's been right at 2 weeks since I was back with you. And as promised, I did some patriotic stitching, and I want to show that to you. I have a finish, and then I thought I'd show you through my first WIP basket. I have 4 of them, so they're not very deep. I try to separate them in seasons, so we'll see what's in there. All right, so grab your drink of choice and let's get started. First off, I have an FFO, a fully finished object. So it is red, white, and blue, designed by Vicki Hastings of the Cross-Eyed Cricket. And I took it out to Cece's and they framed it up for me. And as promised, they got it back really quick so that I could have it for the 4th of July. So I just think this is gorgeous. Look at the frame, that tortoise shell, and then the gold, picks up the gold and the stars. And here's the saying, no greater love has man than that he give his life for his brother. I think that's very important. Very important during this holiday that we remember that. 4th of July isn't just about fireworks and family gatherings. So I thought this was beautiful. I finished it quite a while ago. I don't have a date on here, but I think it was probably 2017, and it's just been waiting to be framed. Kathy at CC & Company has had some really good deals lately, and I owe her a lot now. So, but I love the heart and the flag lines, and then the stars in the blue. I just think it's so pretty. So again, that was Red, White, and Blue by the Cross-Eyed Cricket. Love it. Whoops, and it slid right down on the floor. Okay, then, like I said, I did some patriotic stitching, so I want to share that with you. The first one, and I have some finishes. I have 2 finishes. So yay, it got me going again, and I feel like I've made some good progress. The first one that I finished is a wee one from Heart and Hand, and it's 4th of July bird. So it's this little pattern, and I got him all done. Here he is, all his glory. I just think he's so cute. I just love it. I'll have to take it to Hobby Lobby or someplace and see about finding a little frame. I mean, it's going to be an odd size because, let me look real quick. I think it's finished. If I put a 1/2 inch on each side, that's 3.5 by 6.5. They don't really make frames that size. So I may have to find something and cut it down to fit this one. But it's my first finish. I'm really liking him. I like the checkerboard here, and then all the flags. Isn't that cute? And these were the specialty stitches, which I didn't really do right, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with how they turned out. Sometimes we just have to say, okay, it's not perfect, but it's better. It's good. So that's my first one. My second one, well, I was going to take it out of the plastic for you, and I can't get it apart. It's sunflower samplings Americana hearts. So it was this one. And here's my piece. I've got all the hearts in. And then I found this little gold heart that I'm going to put, if I can hold it so you can see it, I'm going to put here with these. So I think that'll look really cute. This heart has, let me put something behind it so you can see it better. It has like stripes on it reminding me of the flag. So I thought that was pretty appropriate for that. So that's another one I'll have to take and get framed, or really figure out frames for me to frame it. Then the last one I started working on is Long May It Wave by Dutch Treat Designs. That would be this one. And remember I said how pretty would it be if you did all of this in gold? Well, I've got maybe about half of it done here. And I put it, the fabric I used, those other two were just remnant fabrics, so I have no idea what they were. This is Antique White Monaco that I think I picked up at Hobby Lobby one time. But here is where I am at so far. And I just love how they made that wave of the flag. Isn't that gorgeous? And then, I don't know if you can really see, maybe you can there, that is gold braid that I put in. And it's around the flag here and across, and it'll come all the way down through here. So it's just going to be really pretty when I get it all done. At the bottom, you can see the flagpole comes on down. I've got it to about right there, right at the end of the blue, about right there. So I have to put this in. But then I just have the word wave, and then the rest of the gold braiding that comes around. So I don't have too far, that and the red and white. And there's actually in the red, there's just a single line of white all the way through that. So I'll have to look and see how that looks when I get the flag in, because if it looks odd, then I'm gonna fill the entire stripe line instead of just leaving it with one little stripe through the center. I think they did that originally because they called for white fabric, and mine is an antique white, so it's off. And not really, it looks more yellow actually, but I think it's okay because to me it looks antiqued. So I think that's fine. Okay, so that's my finishes. And what I'm going to finish that up and work on that last one. I'm also going to work on, if I can, I think I'm going to keep Dutch Beauty out where I can get to it more easily and work on it too. But as I said, I wanted to show you things from my first WIP basket, which WIPs is work in progress. So I have some things that, I don't know, maybe I'll bring them back out and work on them instead of the other stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I just have to play it by ear. But the first one I have is Where Hearts Rest by Brenda Gervais, and it's Nest. So I have quite a bit done, but I got to the bird nest and kind of went, ugh. So this is where I'm at. I think it's really, really pretty, and I put it on this tan gingham, which I really like, but you see that? You can see all the, do I have? Oh, okay, that's just, I thought that, looking on the screen, I thought there were little birds in there, but no, that's just part of the branch that I'm seeing. So I've got the word bird up here, and then all the nest with the berries. I've got the first big portion of the, what do you call those, limbs, tree limb, coming across here with all the vine through it, the leaves through it. And then the bird nest will start behind the S here and come up. It's really huge. I don't know what color that is, but if they're mixing, I think that's, I got kind of overwhelmed because I think they're mixing colors for it. And honestly, what I think I'm going to do to save myself some heartache is find a really good variegated floss and just use it. Because yeah, these ones that we've got 3 different colors here that I think they're using for it. This is Polywog, which is kind of a green brown. And then this is, let me scoot that over so I can see it. Olive. And this one is Sage. So you can see they're all about the same. These two are exactly the same, not exactly, but they are very close in color. And then we've got this darker brown. So I think I mix at least 2 of those in there. But again, I think to save my sanity, I'm going to find something that is a variegated brown and just go with that for the nest so I don't feel as overwhelmed. It won't be exactly like she charted it, but it will be close enough that it resembles it and I will be happy with it. I think, the patterns are really suggestions anyway, so let's just go with that. The next one I have, is 2Bs and ABCs. And I started this a long time ago. 2Bs and ABCs. I really like it. It's kind of a Art Deco type. And see, there's the 2Bs there in that second section. And the blueberries, and then the thistle, and then down to that big Art Deco flower at the bottom. And I really like it, but here is where I am, which I started with that beautiful flower, and I got that done. As you can see that. And I started up then. I've got the numbers in. But I believe, if I remember right, I was at a stitching day and talking, and I believe I have a big mistake here on this, so I'm going to have to start over. I'll have to look in it and count it. Maybe it was down here, and I was able to fudge it up enough that it's not noticeable. But I need to go back through and check that out to see where I'm at, what I did, and what, if it's going to affect anything. But this one is one I really liked, and I would so like to get some more work in on it and get it done. And my friend Sue Wild showed me something on that one because it's so long. She showed me how to stitch, let me get it back up here, how to stitch lines on the outside, basting lines on the edges. So that's the middle, and then there's the edge. So that you know exactly where you're at on your pattern. It helps guide you, and it's easily removable once you're done. But that was a real lifesaver. That, when I was down in the bottom, that really helped a lot. So thank you again, Sue. I know it's been a long time since I've said that to you for this, but it's still in my box. Okay, and then the third one I have here is really different. I fell in love with it. You know, we're all doing antique samplers now and working through those. Well, this is Antique Sampler Fragment 1834 from the Headmistress Sampler Series by Cross Stitch Antiques. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? That is just beautiful. Beautiful piece of stitch work, handwork. And I have started this and I've gotten some of it done, and then I got to the point where I thought, I'm kind of tired of working on this now, so let's move on to something else. So that's what I have done. The leaves across the bottom and then 2 rows. So you know, this is one of those samplers, I believe, that the girls did. So see, I got this in and this side. So I'm ready to start here and come in with the big floral piece. And I just haven't gotten there yet. So yet another one that needs some attention. And I've got this piece that everybody knows what it is. It's by Blackbird Designs. Summer, autumn, and winter. Let's see, which one has the full design on it? Here it is. This is what it will look like when it's all stitched together, which I just think that is gorgeous. I just love that. So individually, we've got summer, and then we've got autumn, and you see the alphabet continues top and bottom. These will be my initials here, and then follow up with winter on the end, which has some more alphabet at the top, and then there's the rest of Barb Adams' initial, and then the year. But I thought, because I looked inside one of them and I was looking at the pattern, I was looking at this pattern and it made me think of gingham. So I pulled a gray gingham that I'm going to do this on. And I think it will just be beautiful. I really like this. So I think that's what I'm going to work on and make that happen. I've had it. I don't have my flosses pulled because remember, I pulled all the flosses out of everything. But I'm saving the fabric with this so I don't use it on something else. But that's one I would like to get started on too. And you know, I think I love Blackbird's borders. I think they're gorgeous. I like everything about Blackbird. Sometimes they get kind of stylistic and not real authentic, but I think that lends to their beauty. And I really am looking forward to pulling flosses and starting on this one. So, see, that was it. That was my bag there, that WIP bag. So that was summerish items that I had there. I do still have Wave and Lily Bates, and then the Let Joy Be Unconfined by the Blue Flower. I have those 3 that I was looking at, and I was going to do that on this pale green. But Lily Bates, I thought I would put on this gingham. I really like gingham, if you haven't noticed. And then I have a piece of just antique white for wave, which it's kind of hard to, there you go. There's a good picture of it. So that is that. It was a quick update, huh? When I do them 2 weeks like this, I don't have a lot to show, but I feel like I made progress by getting 2 of them finished off this time, and the third one halfway done. So I'm real pleased with that, and you know, pat myself on the back. But anyway, let me know if you have any questions about any of these pieces. I appreciate the comments that I've received recently. Those are really so great to see, because then I know that I'm not just putting this out there for myself, that I have people that are really watching and listening, and you know, they've asked some questions, and that's been really nice, really fun. I hope that it's starting to get really hot today. It's like 90-ish. Let me just look and see what the temperature is right now. Kills me when it says that my fingerprint doesn't match when it's my fingerprint. It's 89 right now, so it actually feels hotter than that, but yep, 89. But it feels like there's some rain clouds coming in and some more weather. So everybody take care. I know this is tornado season, and we had a couple scares over the weekend that really kind of hurt a lot of people. Thankfully, we did fine. We didn't even have, knock on wood, we just had a few little sticks come down. No big limbs or anything like that. So stay safe, have fun stitching, and I'll see you again in a couple weeks. Brightest blessings.